Lots and lots of you watched the debate last night. Many of you didn't watch it, and you were expecting us to fill you in on it, which we're more than happy to do. We'll be speaking to all sorts of people about their reactions to what happened. But let's find out from Ryan Sabey so far what the polls are doing and what people are saying about the election debate from last night. Ryan, very good morning to you.
Morning, Mike.
Very successful debate, I suppose you might say, and that nothing went terribly wrong for either of the men. They were both able to sort of say what they thought. Most people seem to be saying Keir Starmer didn't say an awful lot.
Yeah, that's right. I think Rishi Sunak will probably come out of the debate from last night feeling a little bit better. He managed to land a couple of sort of blows on Keir Starmer, and he actually really needed to do that. You know, he's so far behind in the polls, he needed something to change the dial. So the first thing that I think really hit home and left Sir Keir Starmer actually wanting for 10, 15 minutes or so was the blow about tax. He was saying that every working family would be taxed by £2,000 extra under a Labour government. And it seemed to take Sir Keir Starmer about 15, 20 minutes to actually respond to this properly and actually challenge it. And I think Labour people are saying, well, he was actually just complying with the convention of the debate and letting each man have their say. But I think that was one thing that Rishi Sunak time after time kept coming back to. And also the grey vote. That was, you know, the retirement tax, as the Conservatives are calling it, how the state pension would be taxed under the next 5 years. So I think those two things will be seen as music to the ears of the Conservative strategists who were watching last night.
Well, let's have a look at what was said in that first debate on tax.
Taxes are now being cut. Keir Starmer would put all that progress at risk. He would put up everyone's taxes by £2,000. £2,000 in higher taxes for every working family in our country. After all the hard work and sacrifice we've been through, that's not the right course of action. I don't know why you want to put up people's taxes.
Keir Starmer.
Paul, I just don't know how you feel when you hear a Prime Minister say, having heard what you're going through, that the plan is working, it's all right. I meet so many people who are struggling with their bills, and the Prime Minister just keeps saying he lives in a different world, that
if people are struggling with their bills, why do you want to make it harder for them by saddling them with £2,000 worth of higher taxes?
Keir Starmer doesn't look like he knows how to debate at that particular juncture, does he?
Yeah, he was slightly flummoxed there, particularly on the nuts and bolts of that £2,000 bill that the Tories are saying coming their way. But yeah, he was slow to come out the blocks and actually answer that question. However, one thing in Sir Keir Starmer's favour, he was empathetic. He did come across as someone who could relate to the member of the public there, Paula from Huddersfield, who said that she had to batch cook at the weekend just because she didn't want to turn her oven on at peak time. So I think where Rishi Sunak did land the blows when it came to the sort of the tax dossier and how it's going to hit people in the pocket, I think that Sir Keir Starmer just came a little bit better as more relatable to people.
Yeah, very possibly so. On immigration, that was another big debating point. Let's have a look at what happened there.
What will you do with illegal migrants who come here? What will you do with them?
Well, would you consider processing asylum claims in a third country, Keir Starmer?
Yes, if that was possible to do it in compliance with international law, of course. But just let me deal with this, because...
So you do now agree?
Okay, so you...
now, you've just changed your mind.
We were not going to talk over each other.
So you do now agree with third country deals?
We do now agree with third country deals, according to the Labour Party. That was a first for everyone, I think, wasn't it?
I think the point that Sir Keir Starmer was trying to make was the fact that there'd be some processing outside of this country rather than actually a Rwanda deportation deal. But again, Rishi Sunak, it did come across as quite a heated, sort of tetchy kind of debate at that point. And I think Rishi Sunak did get a round of applause when he was talking about how border security is far more important than what the foreign court says. But I think Rishi Sunak, just to look at it in the round, Rishi Sunak had to come out hard on immigration. He's got, obviously, Nigel Farage just a couple of days ago said that he would stand as a candidate. So he knows that quite a lot of support could sort of splinter off to the Reform Party. So he had to be pretty forthright on that issue.
Absolutely right. And of course, a couple of good little tidbits in the Never Mind the Ballots goss this morning. The winner of the day, Richard Tice, a bone dry Richard Tice, who 24 hours earlier could have been the one rinsing milkshake from his hair. But also Johnny Mercer, Cabinet Minister, going off message a little bit. Quote of the day, it's raining, everyone's tired, and yesterday was a pretty crap day, for want of a better word.
Yeah, that's right, Johnny. I think Johnny Mercer, he's an honest type, and he was just summing up what that really bad hour for the Conservative Party on Monday when Nigel Farage decided to stand not only as leader of the Reform Party but as a candidate, and then 60 minutes later, literally, we had the MRP poll, that poll that showed that Labour would have a 194-seat majority. So that's Johnny Mercer being Johnny Mercer there.
Yeah, very good, Ryan. Thanks very much indeed, Ryan Sabey, Deputy Political Editor at the Sun there.